mention a specific point so I can speak.
So in your conversation when you talked about, I think, dynamic surrender and a static surrender, and if I were to bring in this context and your own experience, because you've been quite a journey on this.
Let me share with you my personal experience. I haven't shared it with many before. As it was mentioned in my introduction, that I came to ashram by a chance to look for a good value-based education for my children. My background is that at the age of 15, I was a nationalist, all for Gandhi and independence of India. At the age of 18, I was a socialist, founded a young organization called Young Youth Socialist League. At the age of 20, I was a cardholder member of CPI. And causing strikes in industrial areas in Delhi. At the age of 21, I had an opportunity to go to England to learn to become an engineer. The communism part of my attachment followed me. I was introduced to the leftists in Cambridge and Oxford universities, meetings, conferences, discussions. And at that time, I also fell in love with a beautiful girl. So I had an invitation to go to Moscow to participate in a youth festival or to decide to get married to my wife, my girlfriend. I chose to marry my girlfriend. At the age of 25, I became a wage earner to take care of my wife and myself, my parents, and so on and so forth. Fortunately, at a young age of 36, 34, 35, earlier, 32, the company that I worked as a service engineer in gave me the opportunity to become the chief executive and director of that company. So the British company. When I came to ashram, Brown Sahib, earning 18,000 rupees a month in gross salary, member of 3 clubs including golf club, the best of the world. Enjoying my life thoroughly, and by that time blessed by 3 children also. Could afford to send my children to any one of the best schools. But there was a kink in my mind. I wanted a value-based education. I had come in contact with Jadu Krishnamurti. Used to attend his lectures and so on and so forth. So I wanted to go to Rishi Valley to get my children admitted and also talk to J. Krishnamurti about his philosophy and my feelings. In another way, somehow I was led to Pondicherry because this also has a value-based school. I met Kirit Bhai, who was the registrar at that time. So I mentioned my wish to him. And I said, I would like to know how this education is conducted. His answer was, please have a look around. So I wait, hoping somebody will come with me. Nobody. So he smiles. Go, you're free to move in anywhere, anywhere. Room to room, I peep in. In one room, I quietly go and sit down at a back bench where everybody's quiet. And suddenly, one of the young students asks the teacher, addresses him as a bhai, not as sir, not as a teacher, but bhai. And asks a question. What surprised me was, the teacher looks up and says, sorry, I do not know the answer. Shall we go to the library and find out the answer? I haven't ever experienced that in my life before. I come back. I say, this is the right place for my children. Gives me 2 forms because I wanted 2 sons. One was at that time 11, another at 13. So I said, what are the formalities for admission? Just fill up the forms. Thank you very much. What is the fee? There's no fee. Is there any donation? No, there's no donation. Sir, how do you decide whom to take and whom not to take? The mother decides. I look at the pictures behind his desk. Being cynical as I was at those days, you mean this old lady? And you are sitting in a responsible position as a registrar? Smiles and he says, this is how it is. Can I meet the mother? She gives 4 audiences in a year. Public audiences. A big question in my mind. On one hand, such a beautiful system where I saw all the facilities for free. On the other hand, is impossibility of an old lady deciding, I don't know how. Can I meet the mother one-to-one? That's the answer. No reply. I'm curious. The person who had brought me here, I asked him, is there something I can read about this place to understand what it is? Why this rational and irrational at the same time, according to me? So we go to the Sabda. So I asked the man behind the counter, in most of the ashrams, the disciples write about their gurus. Have your gurus written anything on their own? Smiles, comes back to me and he says, poetry or prose? I said, I am not a poetic kind of a man. Prose is good enough for me. What would be, according to you, the recommendation that would give me the insight to what it is all about? He says it is something called, Sri Aurobindo's work, The Life Divine. Okay, I'll have it. He says it is in 3 volumes because century edition had not come at that time. I'll take 3 volumes, wrap them up, rushed back because at that time I was living in Calcutta. My friend was so disgusted with me because he was a devotee. And I was showing no respect. When we reached the airport, he asked me to get out of his car. Whilst I had 4 hours between the flight from that time, my luggage was at his place. He says, I'll pack up and send your luggage, but I don't want to see your face anymore. Waiting for the flight and the luggage, I opened to read the Life Divine. I couldn't believe it because I was reading it like a novel. Maybe I did not understand any word of in its content. Content I understood. 3 weeks, finished reading. Now I'm looking for somebody to help me come and visit the mother because I have jotted down some questions and I want answers. This was in my first visit in April of 68. I get an opportunity to come to the mother in June. 7:18 a.m. Not 7:15, not 7:30, not 7:18. The friend who finally brings me to the ashram gets up early in the morning, brings a bouquet of flowers for me to take to the mother. So I am present at 7:18, but being stubborn and stupid, I take 1 flower to offer to her, not the bouquet, because I'm not a devotee. I'm asking questions. My name is called. I walked in. The old lady looks up. Our eyes are locked. When I come back to my senses, I have my head in her lap. A miracle has happened. Rationality and irrationality, I understand it thoroughly. Thank you.